The Chief Justice of the United States is the Chief Judge of the Supreme Court of the United States and the highest-ranking officer of the U.S. federal judiciary. Article 2, Section 2, Clause 2 of the U.S. Constitution grants plenary power to the President of the United States to nominate, and with the advice and consent of the United States Senate, appoint judges of the Supreme Court, who serve until they resign, retire, are impeached and convicted, or die. The existence of a Chief Justice is explicit in Article 1, Section 3, Clause 6, which states that the Chief Justice shall preside on the impeachment trial of the President. The Chief Justice has significant influence in the selection of cases for review, presides when oral arguments are held, and leads the discussion of cases among the justices. Additionally, when the court renders an opinion, the Chief Justice, if in the majority, chooses who writes the court's opinion when deciding a case. However, the Chief Justice's vote counts no more than that of any other justice. Article 1, Section 3, Clause 6 designates the Chief Justice to preside during presidential impeachment trials in the Senate. This has occurred 3 times. While nowhere mandated, the presidential oath of office is by tradition typically administered by the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice serves as a spokesperson for the federal government's judicial branch and acts as a chief administrative officer for the federal courts. The Chief Justice presides over the Judicial Conference and, in that capacity, appoints the Director and Deputy Director of the Administrative Office. The Chief Justice is an ex officio member of the Board of Regents of the Smithsonian Institution and, by custom, is elected Chancellor of the Board. Since the Supreme Court was established in 1789, 17 people have served as Chief Justice, beginning with John Jay. The current Chief Justice is John Roberts. 5 of the 17 Chief Justices, John Rutledge, Edward Douglas White, Charles Evans Hughes, Harlan Fiske Stone, and William Rehnquist, served as Associate Justice prior to becoming Chief Justice. The United States Constitution does not explicitly establish an office of Chief Justice but presupposes its existence with a single reference in Article 1, Section 3, Clause 6, when the President of the United States is tried. The Chief Justice shall preside. Nothing more is said in the Constitution regarding the office. Article 3, Section 1, which authorizes the establishment of the Supreme Court, refers to all members of the court simply as judges. The Judiciary Act of 1789 created the distinctive titles of Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States and Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. In 1866, Salmon P. Chase assumed the title of Chief Justice of the United States, and Congress began using the new title in subsequent legislation. The first person whose Supreme Court commission contained the modified title was Melville Fuller in 1888. The Associate Justice title was not altered in 1866 and remains as originally created. The Chief Justice, like all federal judges, is nominated by the President and confirmed to office by the U.S. Senate. Article 3, Section 1 of the Constitution specifies that they shall hold their offices during good behavior. This language means that the appointments are effectively for life and that once in office, a justice's tenure ends only when the justice dies, retires, resigns, or is removed from office through the impeachment process. Since 1789, 15 presidents have made a total of 22 official nominations to the position. The salary of the Chief Justice is set by Congress. The current annual salary is $280,500. Which is slightly higher than that of Associate Justices, which is $268,300. The practice of appointing an individual to serve as Chief Justice is grounded in tradition. While the Constitution mandates that there be a Chief Justice, it is silent on the subject of how one is chosen and by whom. There is no specific constitutional prohibition against using another method to select the Chief Justice from among those justices properly appointed and confirmed to the Supreme Court. 3 incumbent associate justices have been nominated by the President and confirmed by the Senate. As Chief Justice, Edward Douglas White in 1910, Harlan Fiske Stone in 1941, and William Rehnquist in 1986. A fourth, Abe Fortas, was nominated to the position in 1968 but was not confirmed. As an associate justice does not have to resign his or her seat on the court in order to be nominated as Chief Justice, Fortas remained an associate justice. Similarly, when Associate Justice William Cushing was nominated and confirmed as Chief Justice in January 1796, but declined the office, he too remained on the court. Two former Associate Justices subsequently returned to service on the court as Chief Justice. John Rutledge was the first president. Washington gave him a recess AP.